Welcome to another edition of Life Outdoors. I'm your host, Chris Reckling. Thank you for joining us here on Life Outdoors. Life Outdoors is sponsored by Ocracoke Tourism Development Authority, Ocracoke, miles from the mainstream. Today's conversation is about fresh air, physical activity. It's about life skills and managing expectations and relationships and physical activity. And it's all about Girls on the Run. Joining us today is Ellen Carver, Executive Director of Girls on the Run Hampton Roads. Ellen, welcome to Life Outdoors.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, so Girls on the Run, if you haven't heard about Girls on the Run, it's been around for a little while, but it's not just here in Hampton Roads. It's an international group and an event. I mean, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Tell us all about Girls on the Run.
So it was started in Charlotte, North Carolina, 30 years ago. Some local moms and volunteers heard about it, loved what the program was doing for girls in North Carolina, and they brought it here 20 years ago. Today, as a national organization, international organization, we have 250 locations, including Canada. So that's why we're international.
Yeah.
These are called councils. I handle the Hampton Roads Council or region, so that serves everywhere from York County up close to Williamsburg, down to the Eastern Shore, out to Western Tidewater, all the way to Gates County, North Carolina, and everything in between. The program is so robust now in this area. We started with 2 schools 20 years ago, serving about 30 girls, and now we've served 25,000 and growing girls. When we open the spring season next week, it'll be up to 26,000 girls.
How many schools in the area?
We are active in about 125 per year. They rotate. Some schools do it every season or every semester. Mm-hmm. Some schools do it fall or just spring. Some schools might take a semester off if they don't have a volunteer coach for us.
Okay, and how many girls participate in Girls on the Run at these schools, roughly?
We limit the size to 20. Ideally, 12 to 15 is kind of ideal size because we want each girl to feel recognized and mentored by the coaches. We want them to build positive relationships with the other girls on the team. We have a really strict attendance policy because that builds community, it builds loyalty, it builds stamina as far as the running piece goes, and it just builds trust with each other. So 12 to 15 is ideal, but we will go up to 20 if we have a lot of coaches.
Are you in elementary schools, middle schools? Where are you at?
Yeah. We focus on 3rd grade through 5th grade in our elementary program, and I'll get to the reason why. And then we also have a middle school program, 6th through 8th grade. Some schools now that are going K-8, that 5th, 6th grade line might blur a little bit depending on where those kids fall developmentally. The reason we focus very specifically on this narrow age group is deliberate, and that is because that is the time in development, adolescent development, that girls begin to lose confidence. They begin to stop taking risks. We have very good data. They stop raising their hand to participate in physical activities, other sporting activities. When they're younger, girls are a little more idealistic. They're a little more trusting. They're a little less fearful. And as they develop and start to enter adolescence, all these things get in their way. So that's why we focus on establishing really healthy habits around physical fitness, but around joining, around taking risks, starting at 8 years old.
So this basically is a confidence booster that promotes physical activity.
Yes.
And which leads to so many other things like you said, forming relationships.
Yeah.
And a very important time in the girls' lives. How have you seen it impact young girls at that age, and what does it mean for them going forward in their life?
Well, as I was saying earlier, we want to impact them when their habits are starting to form. That's why the 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade year is so important. This is when girls are starting to identify who their tribe is, who they can trust, what they believe in, value systems, starting to think independently outside maybe what their family thinks or believes. And we see very longitudinal impacts now. We have a database that's large enough in our national network that we have studies, ongoing studies that are looking at girls 30 days after the program, 60 days, 3 months, but then 3 years, 6 years after, longitudinal studies that show that this has lasting and impactful change on girls' healthy habits. I personally see it happen before my eyes on the regular basis. I do coach myself to keep me fresh, so I run teams out of Norfolk schools, and I I can give you so many stories, Chris, of girls, things they say, things they share, how they start out with me at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
how they are in 10 short weeks,
Wow.
how they are with their peers 10 weeks later. I mean, not to overstate, but it's pretty magical.
I believe it. And I mean, I just wish something like that was around, when we were growing up.
I know. Boys and girls.
Boys and girls. And, just stressing physical activity is so important. But the confidence boost and establishing relationships with other girls when
Yeah.
it's a hard time. When you
It's such a hard time.
And, and it's just everything about it, the
Yeah.
program. How much is running a part of Girls on the Run?
I'm so glad you asked.
Because I'm starting to think there's a
Little
50,
psychobabble.
like a 50-50 here.
It is. And I'm glad you asked because a lot of people, unfortunately, hear Girls on the Run and are scared.
Right.
The little girl or their parent might think, oh, she's not an athlete or she doesn't want to run or she has asthma or she's got cerebral palsy. So running is, but when we say running, we really mean moving forward. And that we mean that literally, but we mean it figuratively as well. We are very inclusive in terms of body types, fitness types. Some girls come to us thinking they signed up for like a pre-track program, and they will run harder and longer than other girls. They're little gazelles. They will put me to shame. But we have girls, I've coached a girl who was 190 pounds in the 4th grade, already had type 2 diabetes and on insulin. She finished a 5K by the end of the season. She wouldn't even walk around the track one time on day one. So that is an extreme, but we serve everything in between. And girls get fresh air. I love your show. We are getting girls outside and screen free. That sounds so simple to anybody that grew up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. But today, the sedentary behavior and the screen time is keeping our kids inside and on the sofa, on the couch. Remember in the old days, we worried about too much TV time? That's
Yeah.
nothing.
Right.
I mean, they are scrolling, we know,
Everywhere.
3 to 4 hours a day.
Well, you keep saying they,
They, meaning kids.
meaning all of
well,
us.
grown-ups, everybody.
All of us
All
are
of us.
spending way too much time
All
on
of
our
us.
electronic devices.
All
And,
of us.
at the end of the day, I'm just like, I'm so over looking at these
Yes.
screens. Of course, we love it when you watch Life Outdoors. But, I mean, it's...
Especially if your TV's outdoors and you're watching in your
Yeah,
outdoor
exactly. Watch it
kitchen.
outdoors when you watch Life Outdoors.
Yeah.
But, really, I mean, everything in moderation. And if you don't work in the physical activity part,
That's right.
then you're really, long term
That's
of life
right.
is cut back. I mean, studies show the more you move, the longer you live.
The more you move, the longer you live. And we don't need Harvard doctors and researchers to tell us this. We know this.
we
We
do
know
know
how
that.
we feel when we get outside. I was thinking when I was coming on your show, one of my children was a little colicky. And I remember, how did I solve that? I took her outside.
Fresh air.
Just took her out of that playpen or out of that holder and took her outside. Just the breeze, the birds, instantly the crying would stop.
Fresh air. I mean, I think you have to get it on a regular basis, and even if it's as cold as it is right now, just get out and walk the dog, walk down the street, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break here on Life Outdoors, and we'll talk more with Ellen Carver from Girls on the Run Hampton Roads, and we're going to talk about more of the health benefits of getting outside and moving, and then we're going to talk about sneaker soiree, where you can have fun with others and wear sneakers at the same time. Stick around, everyone. You're watching Life Outdoors.
Visit Ocracoke and step into a world where every moment feels like a getaway. Savor fresh seafood straight from the sea, stroll along sun-kissed beaches, and let the gentle breeze carry your cares away. Paddle calm waters, explore hidden trails, and discover the unique stories that make this island unforgettable. Explore a village where the pace is gentle, and every corner holds a story. Whether it's a beach campfire or a quiet walk, Ocracoke offers moments that linger long after you leave. Slow down, you're here. Plan your escape at visitocracokenc.com.
Welcome back to Life Outdoors. We are joined today by Ellen Carver, Executive Director of Girls on the Run Hampton Roads. We talked about the program, the organization, how it started in Charlotte and is now all around the country. Every state?
Every state.
Every state has it. How popular is it in other states, and how does Virginia stack up to the rest of the country and other places where, I mean, is like, and is it in Richmond? Is it in Roanoke? Is it
Yes.
in Northern Virginia?
Yes.
Is it everywhere?
In Virginia, we have a very robust following. So we have 6 councils in Virginia serving all those areas you just mentioned. Roanoke Valley, up towards Winchester area, over to Northern Virginia, Richmond, of course. Our council is pretty big. We are on, ours meaning Hampton Roads. The size of the council is measured both by the region that you serve and also how many girls are enrolled each season. So we fall on the larger side. There are some states that are small enough where they have just one council for the whole state. So those are managed a little bit differently, a lot of remote staff. We try to have enough buy-in from our staff and our board that represent each of the cities we serve so that informs our work. We are working with 15 different school systems, and that's a topic for another show another time, but 15 school systems within the Hampton Roads region, they all do things differently. They all have different ways of operating, different logistics, different rules for outside organizations, if you will, coming to serve their kids. So that's a lot to navigate, and for that reason, we really like that our staff and board is made up of people who live and work in all the different regions that we serve.
Do you have a season?
We have a season. Right now, we're about to launch the spring season. We have a fall season. Fall goes from September to December. Spring goes from February to May. Each season culminates in a 5K. The 5K is the ultimate celebration of all the girls have been working on for the semester. Not just the physical goal of running a 5 or walking a 5K distance, but also just setting a goal and accomplishing it. Our completion rate is 98%, meaning 98% of our girls who sign up at the beginning of the semester or the season will complete the 5K at the end of the season. That's remarkable.
That is remarkable.
We want the program to have an impact, and so our attendance policy and our stick-to-itive rate is high because we really spend a lot of time trying to focus on that.
How often do you meet?
We meet twice a week, 90 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, 90 minutes. The first 15 to 20 minutes is typically inside. So in poor weather, we have alternatives to be inside.
Right.
But if it's a little drizzly or just a little cold, we want to get the girls outside. Our 5K has only ever been canceled once, and that was actually in December of 2025, just recently.
Really?
Because we had a combination of wind chill, gale force winds,
And rain.
freezing and sleet and snow, which can cause hypothermia if you get wet. So out of the safety of
Yeah.
our kids, we had to cancel, but that is a first in 20 years. The program starts with an indoor lesson, if you will. We break open a lesson kind of during snack time or circle time, the theme of the day. Then we incorporate that theme or that life skill throughout everything they do in the movement part of the lesson or activity. So then we go outside, we do some calisthenics, we play tag. A lot of this is set to games and skits. Kids are exercising, but it's not feeling like a workout. It's not feeling like a track coach, telling them to go sprint 15 miles. This is really fun and movement-based games. Then the last portion of every 90-minute session is extended workout. So, and girls set their own goal. So, for example, I might say, Chris, boys and girls, we're gonna move for 20 minutes today around the track. I want you each to set your goal. For you, that might be 5 laps. Somebody else, it might be 2. Somebody else, it might be 15.
Mm-hmm.
And each time we meet, you're setting your goal and you're watching your goal sheet increase both in stamina, time that you moved, and in laps that you accomplished in that time. By the end, they'll work up to 5K, 3
Right.
miles.
I think the remarkable thing about that with kids are they don't realize what their limitations are. They don't know how far they can go. They don't know what's possible.
Yes.
And when you tell them anything is possible, and
Yes.
then when you say when it comes to running or movement or physical activity, they don't think it's possible.
I know.
They don't know how to untap what potential they have in their body, and that's what you guys do better than anything.
That's right.
And then you bring it across all walks of life, not just physical activity.
And what I love what you said about anything's possible, that's kind of a platitude we say to kids. And, we might mean it, we mean well, but in this case, we actually show them how it's possible. We give them concrete goal-setting skills to make the goal attainable, not just in the running piece, but in other activities they do in the program, like community service projects. So just giving kids platitudes isn't enough. We really need to teach them soft skills, social emotional skills, life skills to set a goal and attain it. And that's what's really beautiful in the curriculum and how it's written, not by me, not by our team, but by our national team.
Let's talk about the importance of a sense of belonging for children, because right now we mentioned the fact that they're connected to their devices and they seem to be in their own little world and bubble, going up and with the pandemic, just still relatively fresh.
Yeah.
To get them on a team with other kids, establishing relationships.
Yes.
That really means a lot.
It means a lot, and it's so simple.
Yeah.
Again, if you grew up in the 70s or 80s, that's not a complex concept. But today, you might have 300 friends on Instagram, but you're lonely. We know this. We know from the data that girls in particular are very lonely, very isolated. They're not real friendships. They're not real friends. I used to tell my daughter, if you don't know the color of their eyes, they're not a friend.
I don't see. For me, it seems like girls make friends easier than boys.
They do, and they need to, but social media is replacing real social connections.
Yeah.
Collecting friends and likes is the new way we are defining self-worth. Girls
Yeah,
are defining
right.
how many likes did I get? How did my video get any thumbs up, any likes? How many followers do I have? How many friends do I have? But that's what I mean. Those aren't real. They're not real friends. You need to have a conversation. You need to be outside in a physical space, sharing an activity, laughing with someone. And of course they do this in school. They're not completely isolated, but there is a lot of time online that they're developing friendships,
Right.
which is not building and teaching the same skill set that I grew up with.
The name of the program is Girls on the Run, and you focus in on girls and females. Is there a male equivalent to this?
It's my favorite question, but sadly there isn't in Hampton Roads. There are several attempts by folks who I think were initially fans of Girls on the Run for their daughters who wanted something similar for their sons. And there have been a couple of attempts. There's something called Let Me Run that is for boys. It's a kind of a similar model. I can't remember the other name, but there are two that I know of that did get some traction. They just haven't taken off as much as Girls on the Run. I think part of that is the social climate. I think not everybody feels like their boys need social and emotional support. That's just a cultural thing. But of course they do. Of course they do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to take a short break here on Life Outdoors, and we teased the fact that you have a very special formal event coming up, the Sneaker Soiree. We're going to dive deep into that when we come back. So stick around, everyone. You're watching Life Outdoors. Welcome back to Life Outdoors. We are with Ellen Carver, Executive Director of Girls on the Run, Hampton Roads. We're talking about an amazing organization that's doing so much for young girls, not just here in Hampton Roads, but all around the country. And you have a special event coming up at the end of February 28th at the Weston Town Center, Sneaker Soiree.
Sneaker Soiree.
That's
Our
such a
tagline.
cool. I love the sound of that. What is that all about?
Our tagline is the most comfortable party in town because you get to wear sneakers. Check it out, my ladies in sneakers.
There you go.
Those are some board members in their sneakers and some of their guests. I love that shot.
How can you tell they're bored?
Well, bored as in my board of directors. Look at that cute gal.
I'm just kidding.
So fun. Love that. Look at the sneaks.
So dress up and wear your sneakers.
Dress up and wear your sneakers. But here's the
That
main
should be
thing.
all the time, really. Honestly.
Girls on the Run serves girls from all walks of life. 70% of our girls need financial assistance to enroll in the program.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay the full program fee. They need subsidies. These are tough times. We know. We hear it every day in the news. And all the proceeds of our Sneaker Soiree do support our scholarship funds. About $200,000 a year we give out in need-based fee subsidies. So come on out, get your sneakers on. You can go to our website, click around, find the link. It's at the Weston Town Center Saturday, the 28th of February. All types of people will be there. Chris Keys, if you've ever heard him play down at the Cavalier or other
Yeah,
places,
he's great.
amazing musician. He's been with us 3 years. He's going to light up the dance floor for us. We've got a diamond donated to us that'll be auctioned off. Excuse me, a pair of diamond stud earrings by Diamonds Direct. We've got some great prizes and auction items too, and a great meal.
Okay, so it's a lot of fun.
So fun.
Starts at 6 o'clock, ends at 10 o'clock. Wear your sneakers and just have a good old time.
Look at that photo. I love that.
All these pictures are great. I mean, it looks like a really fun time.
It is. I've had people say to me, actually, I see Mayor Bobby Dyer in that.
I see. He's got sneakers. He always wears his sneakers.
When he and his wife left that event, they told me they go to a lot of galas. They told me that
They
this was their
do.
favorite gala they'd ever been to. That
Yeah.
was right out of their mouth.
And he always wears his sneakers.
He's great.
He's the mayor in sneakers. Okay, so that's
Look at
coming
that
up.
little girl at the finish line, so triumphant.
And I just the self-confidence is over the top. Look, dressed up for the run too.
Oh man, we got men out there in pink tutus, daddies, uncles, brothers, pink hats, pink wigs. It's all about the pink.
Do these kids jump right in and do like the Shamrock Marathon and the final mile in their schools?
They do.
and
Some
stuff
of them
like
do the
that?
final mile through their schools, and
Yeah.
sometimes parallel to our program or in a different season. This year, our 5K is going to be with J&A Racing down at the Boardwalk. We're partnering up with them to be their charity sponsor for the Virginia Beach 5K on May 9th. So our girls will all run that event.
Wow. So they're going to be surrounded by hundreds, if
Thousands
not thousands, of
fans.
other runners, which that just goes to show them they're part of a bigger community.
Yeah, we've outgrown. We love Virginia Wesleyan University. This is where we're based, and our
Mm-hmm.
5K is usually there in May. But sadly, we have so many girls and running buddies and coaches that we've outgrown that course. So we're moving to
Sadly.
the Boardwalk. I know.
He's just gotten so popular.
That's the
and
downside.
important.
Well, we love Virginia Wesleyan and we love our
Yes,
race there.
absolutely.
But we're going to join J&A for this event. It's our 20th anniversary, and it's going to be a party May 9th.
Okay, let's give some credit passed along because this is a big organization. There's a lot going on. First and foremost, the volunteers who contribute their time to be a mentor and a person who volunteers. How can someone be a volunteer, and what does it take?
1,000% gratitude to our 500 coaches a year who volunteer mentor, many of them school teachers or employees. They can sign up. They need to be available at least one practice a week, which is 90 minutes, ideally both. So 90 minutes twice a week, 90 minutes after school at the 3:30 to 5 range. But we have other volunteer jobs, helping out at the sneaker soiree, helping hand out medals at the finish line at the 5K. Lots of one-day volunteers for people whose jobs or life story doesn't allow them to coach. Everything's on our website. You can check out ways to get involved as a volunteer, a donor, an attendee. Put your girl in our program. If you're a grandma, an aunt, a mama, a daddy, an uncle, this program will change their life.
Okay, and not just the volunteers, but also you have some corporate sponsorship. You've got groups, like you said, Virginia Wesleyan has been very nice, and you work with all the city, the public schools across Hampton Roads.
15 school partnerships,
So
15 school systems.
It's a lot, and there's a lot of credit that needs to go around. Anyone else you'd like to shout out for
I
this?
mean, we have so many corporate sponsors, and
Yeah.
really my board of directors, which are
Yep.
volunteer, mostly women, a couple brave men who are leaders in their business sector, and all their profiles are also on our website. If you're interested in board work, board leadership for a nonprofit, we're always taking new board members in the summer, so check that out. And really just gratitude to our coaches. They're the backbone of the
Yeah.
program.
You said brave men. They're special.
We have
They're
men
special.
on our board of directors,
That's-
and they're usually girl moms, and they're awesome. They love this program. They're some of our biggest champions.
Girl dads.
Sorry, girl dads, girl moms,
Girl dads. I was like, wait a second.
girl dads.
Well,
They wear pink tutus in the race.
you know what? Not brave. Those are some special
Yeah.
men. I like that. Okay, so we're coming down the home stretch. Only a few more minutes. If you could describe Girls on the Run in one word, how does it change lives? What does it
We
do?
inspire girls to be joyful, healthy, and confident. That's our mission, and I'm sticking with it.
One step at a time,
One step at a time, moving forward.
moving forward. And this doesn't just go to young girls in the 3 to 5th grade. This goes to each and every person out there. Do not live a sedentary lifestyle. Get out and move.
Get out and move. There are so many Facebook groups that are supporting movement in the afternoons. Get a little walking club going. Get outside, even in the ice. I've been
Fresh air.
passing this elderly couple in my neighborhood when I've been out walking my dogs in this recent weather. Fort degrees was the wind chill the other day, and they were out there in their 80s,
Yeah,
walking every day.
Dress for it, you're fine.
They're going to get to 100, that couple.
Absolutely.
They're getting their exercise every day.
And you can too if you keep moving. Ellen, thank you so much for
Thank
joining us
you.
here on Life Outdoors. And once again,
So
Life
much-
Outdoors is brought to you by Ocracoke Tourism Development Authority, Ocracoke miles from the mainstream. Thank you guys again for joining us here on Life Outdoors. We'll see you next week on Life Outdoors.